Here is the house here. Okay, so I bought a ticket. I'm inside the house of Nicolas Copernicus, where he was born. His family is from here, and they've turned it into a museum. It's obviously a tribute to the astronomer. We've got the globe, the stars. Some information here. Different observatories. So this must be the way the house looked originally. Well, I don't think that this television was invented at the time. So I think possibly they're showing a lot of things that had to do with Copernicus. These are basically old televisions. This is Copernicus here. Maybe some clothes from the time. It seems like a display of a lot of the items that just bear the name Copernicus. So you put on the mask, it's kind of interesting. You can pick your language, and it's kind of like a 3D. You can see information about some of the old philosophers like Aristotle and Hippocrates, I think it was. So kind of interesting. It talks about the discoveries they made, and yeah, it's pretty good. There's also Ptolemy, so pretty informative.
La morta poesie sue, possante cos'è, poiché postro sono. E qui Caliope al quarto sogna, seguitando il mio canto con quel suono, di cui le piche misere sentiro lo colpo tal, che disperar perduno. Che la dirittoria era smarrita. Ai quanto era il cosa. E stasera selvaggia e asta.
Some information there about the first explorers that navigated around the continents. Quite informative as well. Looks like some of the first world maps. Some of the vessels that used to explore. Another old map of the world. Wow, that looks quite different than what we have today. I mean, their ideas of what the world actually looked like. They didn't have satellites back then. You had to do all the mapping by what you saw, basically. Looks like Copernicus here. Yes, Nicolas Copernicus. So they had some good interactive information there. You could touch on the screen. You could do it in English, Polish, and Dutch, I think, or German, I should say. But there was good information there, and it was basically about the lineage of Nicolas Copernicus. They talked about his family, and they said there's not much known of his grandparents, it looked like, but his father was a merchant in Krakow in the 1400s. Another painting of Copernicus. Got some like molds, possibly molds. And shoes at the time. Wow, those are quite old looking pottery. Keys. What about those keys? spurs. So basically what a bedroom would look like in that period, medieval period. It's actually a pretty nice looking bed. Oh, that's for, looks like to heat the place, like a furnace. And the dress they would have worn. It's very nice, very well done. This museum, I have to say. What the dinner table would look like. A wardrobe from the time. Pretty fascinating, actually. Your medieval kitchen. Right up there. It's actually pretty efficient. Burning the wood underneath. Fire comes up there. Okay, look at this. You have your pots. So it's pretty similar to what we have today, actually. Except burning wood. But very efficient, very, very efficient. We're on the second floor now. Sound of a cat. Probably was a good idea to have cats back then. They would catch the mice and the rats and any other pests that might get into your food stock. Obviously we've got a stock of food here, like their pantry. Probably a good idea to keep that on the second floor. Harder for pests and rodents to get up to. This is a big house. It's a big house. It's one of those astrolabes, so it's used for navigation. A lot of instruments for measuring. I think you can touch this. Ah, so this is what it looked like, how it worked. Very interesting, look at that. So like your compass in those days to navigate. Look at that. That is very cool. I don't think I've ever seen one that you could actually touch. So it looks like we had a small telescope and another device here. Looks like a calendar almost. Here we go, here is a telescope. All brass. It's fascinating, all these instruments. An astrolabe. I really appreciate that they had that one that you could actually touch. It makes it so much more real and interesting. And a globe, an old globe. Look at that. That is fascinating. Wow. A lot more difficult to read than a modern one.
The golden umbilical sphere is a tool used for astronomy. astronomical measurements. It may be used to, for example, read the position of stars on the sky. We initially must determine our geographical location by turning the entire sphere in its framework. Then we set the current month by turning the internal ring in relation to the ring including zodiac constellations.
So on the next level up, this looks like a study. And the woman was telling me that actually Nicolas Copernicus was born in this house, but he moved to another house when he was young. I think they said a few years old. They don't know exactly when. And he was born on February 19th. February 19th was his birthday. I think she said 1473, but I'm not 100% sure. One more level to go. Oh, there might be even one more. This looks like we're in the attic. Looks more like the attic here. Here's a model of the house. Maybe a bird cage. There is one more level. It looks like you can go all the way up to the roof almost. This must be the attic up here. Wow, this is a very large house. So it's glass here. You can't even go in here. Looks like a painting of Toruń. And possibly... oh, a little bit more. This is Krakow, I guess. Cracovia. Looks like an elevator will take us down. I think this is it. So there's a few more rooms to see on the way down. We've got some coins that are interesting, old coins. Maybe some herbs that we're mixing. That's the tour of the Nicolas Copernicus house. He was born here, but he was only here for a few years of his life. Then he moved to somewhere in Toruń, and I saw later he moved to Krakow, actually. So he was living in Krakow. I think he lived in some other places during his life. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one. I'm the Travelatic Guy. Dziękuję bardzo. Thanks for watching. See you next time.